There they go. Oh, no, not yet.
I pushed the wrong button. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aeon Esports Gen 4 Thunder at Michigan International Speedway. Howie's... what's this? Smarglebauhn Grauglin. Our race name today, because Howie decided to be an absolute maniac and give it a really sensible name, and I turn this down a smidge. It's a bit of a mess in broadcast. Davison filling in on production as well, having not done it in literal forever. John being Jim Cunningham. How are you doing today, friend?
I'm doing good. You caught me with a mouthful of food there, though. But other than that, I'm doing good.
8 drivers currently on track, currently setting qualifying laps. We'll go to one of them now quickly. Single qualifying has returned to the series, but unfortunately, due to some miscommunication and the wheel of random qualifying rule sets, single lap qualifying this time. You only get one shot, you have cold tyres the entire way through, you do not get a second lap. If you mess this one up, you're starting from the back. Small field, it is only 8 cars today, so it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, but you do need to make these laps count. As Lars says
or
the first
this
time.
lap count. Like the lap count. Yeah, that's going to be a tough order with the track temperature up in the 115 degree range right now. That should be interesting for qualifying without a chance to get these tires warmed up and grippy.
Track has been hot all the way through practice. Drivers struggling with a lack of grip basically everywhere. As we see the 13 of Daniel Sawyer take a bit of a slide there through the exit turn 4, will come across the line and get the car in 5th place and a huge spin to celebrate.
That was actually a nice save. He did a good job.
2 cars left to qualify, Talon Smith being one of them. Highest I-rating driver in the field by some margin in the impossible to miss
yes,
pink purple car. I'm not sure, magenta, I guess.
Well, hot pink. I would call it hot pink. And Talon was the fastest driver in practice by a little bit. He was actually the only one to turn a lap in the 37s, but I think that was turned when the track was, about 6 or 7 degrees cooler, which may help. And probably with warmer tires than he's going to accomplish right now. So,
go for a different view here.
He didn't seem to be getting as out of control as some of the other drivers were.
Interestingly,
but,
I'm not seeing a lap time mark for Smith.
That's weird.
So Smith and Trevor Crossway at the 24-2 cars, not to set a time. Lars Chenoweth will actually be starting from pole with Michael Davison on the outside, as Talon is really just exploring the entire track. We saw some interesting behaviour from the Alcantech drivers, as we've come to expect here at Aeon Esports, where they were exploring the infield road course that they've discovered.
Yes, well, it wasn't actually even a road course. It was literally the little drive around roads where you park your RV, and they were going through there. Apparently, they killed several fans along the way. It was interesting.
You actually don't respect how much of the infield is modelled properly in iRacing sometimes, and that there might just be a few dirt roads and not much else to go off of, but it is all there for you to explore.
We found out different. We found out completely different, that there's all kinds of details in there.
Including some fences you can just drive straight through.
Yes, that's right. Some you can, some you can't.
10 seconds left in qualifying. I'm not sure why I haven't automatically advanced, but just waiting for this to take over, and we'll get the starting grid for tonight's race. 80 laps of Michigan. We have Auto Club at home, I like to refer to it as, but
I love this old track. This is a classic NASCAR track, being especially that it's in Michigan, so it's always drawn a big excitement because of all the manufacturers being based out of Michigan. Uh, Out of Detroit area, so Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, all of those companies were all based out of Michigan. So this has always kind of been an important race on the NASCAR tour.
And even if there's Auto Club at home is still a really good track. 2 miles, intense banking, a small field, but you should be able to stay clumped up fairly well, go through the grid fairly quickly before we get to this pace lap. And it will be Lars Chenoweth on the front row in the 22 alongside Michael Hafledson, the first of the 4 Alcantech drivers on the grid. And unfortunately, 3 of them in orange. I will apologise, but they're going to keep doing it. Second row sees Anton Oman in the 42 with Matthew Crisp, the Alcantech round out on that row. Behind them, it'll be Daniel Solo in the 13 with Bartosz Bagrulla taking out the back of the Alcantech drivers in the Kellogg's 5. Talon Smith and Trevor Crosswhite did not set lap times. Look for them to make the moves up the field once we get going. And now it's the waiting game, because it is a long pace lap here, obviously. It is 2 miles at pace speed. And it would help if, I can't tell who that's missing, I guess that would be Omen, who has decided just to hold up the entire field for no good reason.
Yes. Well, we don't know that. Might be a good reason.
You know what?
Maybe I'd take a quick potty break or something.
It's fair. Rather do it now than later. Let me get that to... There we go. And we've already had contact on Pace Road as Crisp has decided to rear-end his teammates. On the pace lap.
Well, maybe that'll give them some aero damage. So we have some interesting paint schemes in this field today. We've got the hot pink 51 back there that you can pretty much see from the next state over. And of course you've got the 3 that are identical paint schemes. And my personal favorite is the Kellogg's number 5, which is a throwback to Terry Labonte, very popular race car driver in the 80s and 90s in NASCAR. And he ran that livery, made famous by during the race where he got wrecked by Dale Earnhardt, I believe, at Bristol, but that may not be the exact track. But
I'm trying to pick out the name rail there. I think that does say Terry Labonte.
It probably does, yeah. That was his... He made that paint scheme really famous, and like I said, famous in a lot of ways for an unfortunate incident he had with Dale Earnhardt, where Dale Earnhardt wrecked him pretty much to win the race.
Well, hope we don't see that here. 8 cars coming towards the flag stand. Barney has the green in hand, and to quote Harry's catchphrase, it's time to bring the thunder. Green flag flies at Michigan, and we are underway. As we're already slipping and sliding all the way around the track. Lars Chenoweth will lead them single file into turn 1.
Yeah, Daniel Salo definitely gassed it up there and almost lost it. Those tires are pretty slick. That's good. We got slick tires, cold tires. We'll go 3 wide right off the bat. That's
Talon Smith trying to find the middle, making it work right now. A bit of bumping and barging it further up as Hudson gets to the back of Omen. Keep it steady for now as Talon Smith tries to work the inside. Solo on the bottom, Crisp on the high side. Ooh, can't hold on to it. Solo,
man,
just about gets away with it, but very loose on that bottom line. Going to go forced to the middle here as Magrulla takes to the apron, tries to come up, doesn't get the quarter panel, keeps it pointed forwards. They'll settle down for the time being further up the fields. Nose to tail, Hafledson and Omen as Danton dives to the bottom of the track, trying to get alongside. Not going to get a tow, though. Will fall back in line into turn 3. Looks to take a higher offset into the corner. Trying to take the outside. Will get there. Will pull alongside. Potentially has to go for second place here, excuse me. Well, Chenoweth pulling away slightly. The 2 Alcantech orange drivers side by side into turn 1. And Anton Oman has that high side and is doing wonders, just blows the doors off Lars Chenoweth, takes first place, and looks to drive away a little bit as well.
Yeah, apparently those tires have come in. The good thing about Michigan and the fact that it's so slick is it does give you the opportunity to kind of run all over the track, and there's lines from top to bottom here. It's just where your car and your driving style fit. So a lot of guys can make the high line right up around the wall extremely fast, and the bottom can also be extremely fast, which is really neat.
It's nice when you get to actually use multiple grooves as well, because then you have the game of, do I have my setup in this line? Is it worth moving offline to try and get around someone, or am I going to have to try and force them offline? As I think that was Grauglin getting into the wall there briefly. Falling back in the order. Still staying 7th place for now, but Trevor Crossway trying to get along to the bottom of the track here to pick away the inside, and that 5 car does not look stable.
Well, now that we've got a few laps on these tires, they should be up to temperature, I would think now. So they're probably at about maximum grip right at this moment in time. Michigan, being an older surface, is going to grind on these tires a little bit as well. So I think that you'll see pretty decent tire fall off here. It shouldn't take too many laps before these tires start falling off. But sometimes that makes for the best racing because it kind of evens out the field a little bit.
Talon Smith to the inside of Michael Vladison. Gets alongside. Oh, great camera angle. There we go. Falls back a little bit going through the start-finish line. See what the entry is like deep into one. Smith takes the advantage, pulls clean in front, doesn't even need to slide up because Vladison slides behind, wants that inside line. And lets the hot pink car drive off into the distance. Meanwhile, battle for first place. Chenoweth has actually come back to fight. Anton Oman takes to the bottom of the track, trying to get the slide up. Oman sideways, middle of the corner, trying to get the power down, trying to carry momentum. Can't quite get it across, and it will allow the 22 to slide up.
Yeah, he did a little slide job there in front of the 22.
A little bit of argy-bargy in the Alcon Tech. Further back in the field as the 8-1 and the 13 get into each other.
Yeah, what you saw there was a classic example. Chenoweth was rolling the bottom there, and Oman was running the higher line, and they were both able to get off the corner with a relatively equal amount of speed. Chenoweth did make the pass, so that just kind of goes to show you that there's equal amounts of grip all over the place. I wouldn't say there's a lot of grip anywhere, but that's a prime example of. But that actually makes for good racing. People immediately would think, "Oh, that's not. That's terrible. There's no grip." But that's actually when it makes for good racing because the cars start kind of sliding all over the place and it really equals out the field.
Talon Smith looking to go through the field. Started obviously in the back row. Just due to lack of setting a qualifying time. Currently up in 3rd place, looking to take 2nd away from Anton Oman. Will get to the inside of the 42. That 42 has been struggling for power on that high side, looking very sideways on the top line. Not able to get the power down, and Smith just gets onto the apron and drives away. P2 to the 51.
Yeah, that was a nice move right there. Well executed.
Not much more to say, is there? It's just good, solid racing, and we might not be done actually because Oman hasn't been separated from the back bumper of the 51, but Solo's joined the back there. Meanwhile, 3 wide for 6th place. As
8 cars on the track and they're running 3 wide, touching each other.
Chris trying to carry momentum.
That 18 cars all over the place.
Very tight, gets spun
there it
into
is.
the wall. They'll keep it green somehow, but that car cannot be well.
No, I wouldn't think so. That's a classic example right there. 3 wide in the middle. That car slid up, nowhere to go with that McDonald's car on the outside, and it looks like he's crab walking down this. Oh yeah, he is. That car's tore up. Car's tore up pretty good.
Matthew Crisp puts the car in the wall and is struggling to get it home. Meanwhile, Solo did get past Oman for 3rd place. And unfortunately, due to a lack of yellow being thrown, I think you're just going to have to settle for this damage. I want to see if the 18 pits here. Fuel windows are going to be a little north of 30 laps, so probably not within the window to pit make it to the end yet, but a few more laps and you might be able to make it backwards.
Do they have a fast repair in this series, or
they do not?
Okay.
So
yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to matter whether his pit window's open or not. That car's going to take some time to repair. So even under caution, I think that car would go a lap or two down, or maybe more even.
Meanwhile, Shenoweth struggling to keep it on the bottom of the track, ends up slipping up probably a lot more than he'd like. Can't get the power down as even as you want. Surprisingly got tight on exit, look like. I'd expect these cars to build loose around Michigan, but looks like the 22 struggling.
Oh, no, tight's going to be the condition they're going to fight. As these tires go away, these cars are going to want to push up the track. I would say that, oh, that's a big wreck right there.
That is the 42 into
gone.
the wall.
Oh!
I haven't the spotter
right
on. That's
then.
not ideal, but that is a caution. And that is really beneficial for one Alcantech driver, but kind of disastrous for another one.
It is. Like I said, I'm not too sure that the other car, was the 18 that wrecked earlier, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna matter really. That car's gonna take more than a couple of laps to fix up. I'm pretty sure.
Go for the onboard view here with the.
I'd like to know what happened.
Fortunately, this has taken me quite far back, so we're going to have to wait for the entirety of the front stretch. Into turn 1, the 81 Davison comes through the inside. Gets in the wall and
oh, there it is. Yeah, just came up a little bit, touched the wall, and got the car wiggling, and then it caught and took off on him. That is definitely unfortunate, but not uncommon with these type of conditions right there. Especially he was already running the high line, so shockingly, everyone in the field's pitting. No big surprise there. They're going to take fresh tires as often as they get a chance to, I'm pretty sure.
That's a little bit further away than I thought it would be, so we'll just go for...
Okay, I just noticed how to tell the orange cars apart. At least one of them has got orange chrome wheels, where the others do not, I believe. I'll figure this out on about lap 79. I'll get it down.
Shenoweth
race off pit road. Yeah.
Leads them off. Solo, Smith, Halfledison, Magrulla, and Omen. Omen is still in the pits. Because Trevor Crossway also got involved in that earlier incident. We'll presumably be taking as many repairs as possible. And now the calm before the storm. This is, again, 2 Mile Oval, and we are going to be doing it at pace speed, so we have plenty of time to relax.
Right. All the chatter. We'll turn this into a podcast during these long pace laps.
Speaking of pace laps, I was mentioning
we still got
beforehand the
go ahead.
The Martinsville incident I had in the NASCAR iRacing Series race I did this weekend. 31 cautions, and I think it was 205 laps in the end. We got very used to pacing as hello, Talon Smith. Comes back down pit road.
The only thing I can possibly think of here was possibly some sort of penalty. Maybe? Speeding or some situation.
See a black flag being issued. It's a fuel and go for the 51.
Maybe just topping the tank off.
Yeah. We've seen the fact that the 51 can come through the field, so presumably isn't too concerned about giving up track position.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's only we got 5 cars on the lead lap.
Everyone is on the lead lap. No, yes. Why is Crosswhite scored a lap down? Because Trevor's Crosswhite just crossed the line. That would be why.
Oh, there you go.
And Antonomen for completion's sake all the way back
so,
here.
So they just spent enough time to work on their cars and stay on the lead lap. Okay, well, we'll see how that works out. I'll be interested to see how that 18's handling itself, because that car was crab walking down the straightaway, so I don't know if there was enough time to get that squared away or not.
Field will form up. We'll restart with 65 laps to go. Everyone's still not quite in the window to make it to the end. But it will be the 22 of Chenoweth who will lead him to the green. We're back racing at Michigan. Solid trying to get to the the high side, excuse me, of Davison, who's on that low side of the 81. As Bosman Grauglin taking that high line away from the 24 Crosswhite. So we get very loud there.
Oman is way off the pace.
Car still very much wounded after being put in the wall early on. Meanwhile, further up the field, Tal Smith gets the first one checked away, goes around the outside of Trevor Crosswhite, looking to pick off Grauglin next. We'll take the inside for the 5. A little fight for the lead there as Chenoweth and Daniel Solo having a battle for P1. 22 covers off the inside line. Solo trying to make that high side run work. Can't quite keep the side-by-side going through the corner, so just forced to go back in line into 3. Again, later turn in, trying to run the middle groove, which can't carry the speed through the middle of the corner.
Yeah, it seems to be right now, especially on these fresh tires, that the bottom groove is working. I think you'll see, if we get another decent stretch of green flag racing, I think you'll see the cars start moving up the track a little bit, because that bottom line will eventually go away, and the tires become too slick for that, and so they'll have to end up sliding up a little bit. I love that gyro cam. Really gives you a sense of. I was looking at a clip on I have the race pulled up separately. They're running that gyro cam, which is a neat little view.
Oh, give me a quick
that 18's holding on pretty good. There you go. Look at that. Really shows off the banking.
This is the onboard of Michael Davison. They were getting 201 on entry in practice. With the draft, bring that up another mile an hour. And you can see Chenoweth keeping it on the yellow on the bottom. Solo offsets the groove by a lane. And just fading away slightly. Quick update on Antonomen. Has gone to the pit lane after that damage. Looks to be retired from the race. Unfortunate end to their day. 7 cars still remain though. It looks like Tal Smith a little further back this time around in the early going, but we still have these Alcontech drivers that are more than capable of taking each other out as they get very aggressive through the start-finish line there.
Yeah, it's funny. I asked you earlier, I said, oh, so do they work as a team? And you're like, well, sometimes as an anti-team.
The Alcon Wreck has become a very prominent feature of Aeon Esports broadcasts. These drivers do race each other very aggressively a lot of the time, and it can end disastrously for them. Just because they share a livery, they do not share a goal.
Right, and that's okay. What that basically means is that's probably a group of drivers that are friends, and they give each other a hard time out there. That's fine. If they're not really as a team trying to win the championship or whatever, they're just out there racing, and they're probably just a group of friends, which is fine. That's good. I'll tell you what, that 18 car is holding on pretty good. I'm surprised. As bad as that car was damaged. See, I think with Oman dropping out, and if he'd have stayed in on pit road and went down a lap, but took all that slow pace lap time to get his car worked on. He may be a lap down now, but he'd still be out there on the field. And of course, as soon as we get another caution, that's he would get the wave around or lucky dog or whatever you call it, and get back on the lead lap. And instead, he's now parked in the garage because he didn't get enough repairs done on his car to stay anywhere near the pace of the race. So that was probably a mishandled situation. Oh, I don't want to go a lap down. Well, this early in an 80-lap race, you can go a lap down and recover from it,
Yeah. Actually, we're not privy to how much damage the car actually had taken, but we could see the damage that was left on the car, at least, certainly. That car was very much off pace on that flying lap we took.
Yeah, very much.
So, lap 23 of 80 is... Oh, hello, Matthew Cripps gets a little bit in the wall there, I think, and now has Talon Smith waiting in the wings to pounce. Not going to do it this time. Last Chenoweth still your lead with Daniel Solo and Michael Lidson, the top three, as Crisp looking very out of shape in the corner. I don't know if this is the damage coming back to bite or whether he's just struggling with the handling of the car right now, but Talon Smith finally starting to move up the field. We'll take the inside away and we'll get clear on entry of the corner, P4 to the Purple Menace.
So I guess at this point we're about 10 laps on these tires. Is that correct? Oh, somebody just got in the wall there. That was the 18 again.
Yeah, Matthew Chris, you're saying the car is driving okay. It might not be perfect handling right now, I think it's fair to say.
Right. And again, if we're in that 10, 11 lap range on these tires, they're going to start wearing. So it's not uncommon to see that here at this track.
Meanwhile, pressure at the front, Chenoweth under fire from Daniel Solo, who once again still running that groove up, but it's looking a lot more competitive in these last few laps. Hounding that 22, trying to just keep him honest, trying to stay in the picture for the positions, and that Matthew Crisp is in trouble. Every time I look at this car, it just seems more and more out of shape as we get on the corner exit.
Right. Yep. He's struggling right now bad to find a line that they can maintain their speed on. It just seems like they are. It seems like whatever damage is on that car now is starting to really reveal itself as these tires age.
I did not mute drive radio either. This is a slight problem. Oh well.
It only becomes a big problem if they
say something bad. Really fussing. I'm in trouble, but at least we have video evidence that someone said something bad. Either way, Talon Smith to the inside, looking for second place, taken away from third place. Excuse me. Wait, no, hold on. Last Chenoweth has gone back in the order. And from out of nowhere, Talon Smith has come through the field and is fighting for first place with Michael Lidson, who has the lead of the race.
Indeed.
Crisp has fallen off this battle momentarily, at least. Lidson goes the top of 3 wide. Talon Smith forced into the middle, but the 22 runs the bottom and he's been strung there all day.
Yeah, Smith got a pretty good run right there. Looks like Chenoweth is thinking about taking it 3 wide there.
Signs against it for now. It will still be Smith and Havlicton for the lead of the race. This time by... I'm trying to get a nice camera angle, see what's going on. 30 goes all the way to the apron. I think there may have been 2 on the grass there.
Sometimes that line will help you get a 10th or 2, It's a little dangerous, though, those transitions getting back on the track. Oh, that 13's wiggling back there. Yeah, they're really starting to struggle again with grip on these tires now that we're 14 laps on these. So this is where the last caution occurred, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So,
yes.
So we're exactly the same amount of laps as we had on for the last caution. So they're fixing to start exploring untested waters here with how these tires behave after now we're at 15 laps on them.
Smith has got clear of Davison. Shenna is still not giving up the fight, still trying to rule that bottom line, trying to get at the inside corner, can't quite, no, does get there. Just about decides against pressing forwards with it.
Well, I think the problem is with if Halflison is going to stay one groove off the bottom like that, Halflison took it to the bottom, and I think Chenoweth is going to really push it on the outside now.
Wow.
If Chenoweth wants to make this, if he wants to make this work, he needs to come down and pin Michael Halflison to the. Oh, he made it work right there. Just drove right around him. Wow, he really got a run off that turn. That was nice.
I was thinking this 22 was going to be just really enjoying the bottom of the track, just considering how often 22 was down there, but no, shoots up the track lane, just drives straight way around the 81. Perfectly done move by the 22. Back up into second place, but Talon Smith now your leader. Solo.
Yeah, that was a
3, and
super solid move there. That was rather surprising, to be honest. He shot around him. That car really hooked up nicely there.
Have a look at Daniel Solo, who's fallen back a bit. Trying to find nice camera angles. It's kind of hard. I have way too many to choose from. But yeah, 13.
Don't you hate that?
Was in the fight, just got a little bit too aggressive and seems to be falling back a little bit. Might have burned through the stuff a little bit too much. Just got a glimpse there of the 5 of Bartosz Grauglin getting a little bit out of shape. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that he didn't clip the wall. Look at that thing. He is power sliding it through that turn. Ooh, that'll make them rear tires angry. Yeah, it'll heat them up and get them. Well, they'll really be fighting you if you do that a couple times.
We're saying tire going to be a potential issue for this race given this track surface, and the way you're sliding through these corners, that's not going to be helping your grip, certainly.
Certainly not. No, with a track like this and with the temperature, the temperature's crept up to 118 degrees track temperature now. That's the hottest we've seen since we've been on the air.
It's definitely roasty toasty on the track right now. 48 degrees Celsius. Okay, I'm just going to close that before I...
Yes. Yeah, that's a hot track. I mean, that's really hot. And this track's already slick, so that's that's brutal. You get those tires that hot on an old rough track surface like this. Ooh.
You can see Halflison struggling with the warm tires.
They're all struggling. They really are. The only one right now that's not struggling is Talon Smith. And I think that's probably because he has all the clean air on the nose of his car. The problem if you're sitting where Lars is sitting, you're getting that dirty air off Talon's car, and that combined with horribly slick tires is a bad combo. You know, these cars are pretty sensitive to dirty air. That's why you'll notice in the turns, even if they prefer a certain line, they move into another line just to keep clean air on the nose of that car to get it to turn. Otherwise, it'll really push up if you get dirty air on the nose.
Seeing what line Chenoweth takes into the corner. You can see there offsets the line. Takes that middle groove while Smith runs the bottom. You can hear the tyres scrubbing. Keeps it fairly tidy though through the corner. But yeah,
what you don't want to do is start sliding in the middle of these turns, because that'll skyrocket these tire temperatures. It doesn't take much. It's just the slightest little bit of sliding, and it'll rocket up the tire temperatures, which the hotter they get, obviously the slicker the tire becomes and the harder it is to find any grip at all.
34 laps complete around here at our 80-lap race of Michigan. Smith leads Chenoweth with Halflison, Solo, Crispy. I can take 3, 4, 5. Grauglin crosswalk around like the drivers on track. Omen out lap 14 on a self-spin.
This is a fixed setup series, right?
This is indeed a fixed setup series.
Yeah. Okay.
So everyone running to the same specification of somewhat ill-handling car, it would seem, today, as both Arctic drivers in the background there get a little bit sideways on the exit, but still fairly close up front, as Smith and Chenoweth run not quite nose to tail, but as close as you can get with the air being as it is right now if you're not looking to make an urgent move.
I'll tell you what, track temperature's steady climbing, too. We went up another degree here. Not that you think, oh, 1 degree doesn't make that much of a difference, but it really does. Every degree matters. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, it's bouncing around now. I'm wondering at this point exactly how slick those tires are. We're 23 laps into this stint on these tires. They've got to be pretty slick.
Which I think
timing and soaring is showing Talon Smith with 22 laps on his tires, but that's not accurate because Talon Smith came back down and just topped off the fuel, so he already had his tires.
Yeah.
So, but he's got one more pace lap worth of fuel because he did come back in and top off his fuel tank.
Now we get into the awkward window of can these drivers make it on one stop? Because I assume the fuel window is going to be around 30-something laps. But I don't know what that something is, and that matters a lot. The caution was what, lap 14?
Yes, a lot. 14, yes.
30 laps would take you to 44, which would mean 36 laps remaining. So presumably if you get 33 laps done in this stint, you could split the race in half. As I'm trying to find the button that lets me go stint. There we go. Obviously Talon Smith has the advantage because of that extra fuel stop. And looks like Smith has in fact extended the lead momentarily. Last one just falling off the back a little bit. We go back to the 5 and the 18 fight because that looked like it was going to get a little bit close for a moment. Obviously Chris dealing with an ill-handling car from an earlier incident, and Roller,
well,
not where they want to be presumably, but still potentially fighting for position here.
Yes, fighting for position, but I think both of them are struggling with these cars. They've both got a little damage on them, and they are, I guess, let's see, 10 seconds-ish from the leader, which is, quite a bit on an oval track.
Yes.
That 5 in the middle of the turn, 5 on entry, he is so loose on entry, it's unbelievable.
Car does not comfortable right now.
The way to prevent that is to run a higher entry. If your car's loose on entry, if you can stay up high, you're not pinching the car down as much, which should help with to keep it from over rotating on you. So in effect, if you're familiar with what they call the diamond line, where it's kind of you enter high, come down, and then the car washes back up a little bit, and then you turn it back down again. That would be an effective line for that 5 car to help soften up that rear end loose on entry like that.
Can't just trying to drive it high and get it rotated down again though. At least in 3 and 4.
Well, the thing is, every time he turns that wheel to try to get the car to rotate down the track a little bit, it's wanting to snap loose on him, which is, I like driving a loose car myself, but you're right on the edge. It's different with a car that's pushing up the track and is tight, because you have the ability to control that with the throttle. That loose end, you just have to scrape off so much speed before you go to enter the turn to kind of prevent that, which is typically why people don't like running loose setups, and that's why the tighter setup is always going to be safer, but slower. So a loose end car is going to be fast. but dangerous like that right there. He's loose on and off. He's really got a handful of car right there.
It did look tight on entry, more than loose, but either way, definitely not where it wants to be. It definitely looked like it freed up mid-corner there.
Well, I was going by what we saw earlier. As he went into the turn, it looked like the rear end was trying to step out on him. Let's take a look at it here as he...
Just like he was pushing up the track to me, but...
Yeah, I mean...
It does look fairly slippy.
Well, I think if he's putting more wheel into it to prevent it from sliding up the track, that will cause it to get to a point where it would snap loose,
Yes.
So that might have been what I saw. It does kind of appear, like you said, like he is pushing up the track there. Either way, lap times are off. He's running, well, actually the entire field right now is running within 0.8 of, within a second of each other. He's, so that's, actually, I was kind of surprised to see that. I fully expected to look over there when I started to say that and see he was 2 seconds off the pace, but he's not.
Speaking of 2 seconds off the pace, that is currently the gap loss shown with has to Talon Smith in second place, has fallen off a little bit here. We are at the window where the pit road is open for these drivers potentially to top in.
So let's see, there are 32 laps on this set of tires and fuel now. And I believe you said 33, which one more lap would put us at 47,
which would
so
be
they would need to run
33
laps. Yeah, so, oh man, who's that, the 13? Who was
81?
No, who was that? 81, yeah. Wow. I'm sure at this point some of these guys are thinking, hey, I think I want to come get me some tires. Interesting, how's the strategy go here? I mean, you hang on as long as you can, hoping for a caution, but with this few cars out there, we may not get another caution.
I do like trying to get in early and try and get the undercut on someone, try and get that track position taken away. But I'd definitely be thinking about coming in right now.
Well, they clearly would be, the same amount of laps they just put on this set of tires and tank of fuel. So if I'm Chenoweth, I'm probably thinking about coming in now.
Smith stays out. Chenoweth stays out. Davison stays out. We might be going for a full tank run here.
Well, it's really hard to be the first one to pit, because as soon as you do, if that caution comes out, you just, your race is over.
Oh, hello, we do actually have a taker on pit road. I believe that is Matthew Crisp.
That's not surprising. I mean, Crisp's car was already ill handling, which probably meant he was putting a little more wear on his tires than some of the other guys, because, his car's been kind of ornery throughout this whole race.
Sure,
there's a very Texas word for you. Car's getting ornery.
And there we see Talon Smith on pit road as well. But I believe Chenoweth...
Interesting choice by Talon. Out of the lead, decided to come on in and get 4 freshies.
Chenoweth.
I don't guess anybody would take 2 here, huh?
On a full tank of fuel, I think you can afford the tyres. 5 in pits for a while, though. Not sure what's going on there. Might have damage that just getting repaired now, actually, and suddenly, okay, if I'm not getting a caution, I might as well take this now, because it's hurting my run. Finally, the remaining front pack comes in. Chenoweth and Davison get on pit road. They get very close on the exit there. Is this 5 still?
So let's...
Yep, that 5 is just stopped. I'm going to go ahead and...
Yeah, he's on a...
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously doing something. The car was so bad, ill handling, I'm sure that at this point he's, doesn't have much of a choice.
Go see what Talon Smith is doing on the track, and it is setting fast times as you would expect. See where the cycle's at.
Yeah, Next lap should be the fastest, though. You know, we'll see.
Oh, it's not even close. So there's your leader, Talon Smith at race speed, and here is second place Lars Chenoweth. The undercut has worked, I think it's fair to say.
Yes. Well, he was already the fastest car on the track too. That didn't hurt. Let's see here. Anything special? Chenoweth had a faster stop too by a half a second overall stop, but yeah, by a half second. So that just goes to show you how much the undercut really did work.
Can see
now Chenoweth is almost 6 seconds back.
It's never over in motorsports until the checkered flag flies. But
no, absolutely not.
It does look.
Well, if we go green, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for anybody to run down Smith unless he starts, unless his car gets really foul.
But right now, it does look very comfortable. Further back in the fields, the gap not quite there for Chris to really gain position. Has closed up to the back of Daniel Solo a bit after some earlier ill handling, but still not quite in position to take the position back. Sat in P5 right now.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, looking at the time, Chris did not really get his car worked on anymore during that pit stop, so whatever he had before, he still got.
Same short pit stop time as everyone around.
Yeah, so certainly didn't spend any extra time in there getting it worked on, which you wouldn't, under green flag conditions, unless it was really bad, like Marjula had to.
Hudson might also be trying to close down. Has set some times there pretty fast compared to the car in front. Trying to gun down the 22. Half a second faster last lap.
Yeah, he's definitely coming. Well, based on that, next lap or two, he should be right up on the bumper trying to make a move around.
But I guess my thought then is, are you burning up your stuff too soon? Because obviously there's still a long way to go in this race.
Well, he also has draft too, though. So draft is probably good for a half a second a lap, So he's, is he really burning his stuff up, or is he just taking advantage of the draft and using the suck-up power of that draft to pull him along? But here he comes. He's coming.
Gap now 0.2, and this is the sort
My
of
guess
race
is
where the difference becomes meaningless. It's about where the cars are on track, and right now they're both running that second groove. And that aero wash definitely hurting the 81 through the middle of the corner there, and I think he's tagged the wall, in fact.
Oh, yeah, he probably did push up a little bit there because of the aero wash, like you said. That is a perfect example of why you want to get clean air on your nose in the turn. Yeah, that hurt him.
25 laps to go in the race. Talon Smith checked out from the field, but still the battle rages for P2 Chenoweth. Being hounded by Hudson, but needs to keep it under control right now because that car is looking vicious on the exit of 2.
Well, Chenoweth and Havlicek fighting like this, is certainly helping Talon Smith. He's up there just watching in his mirror going, hey, y'all keep doing that, So it looks to be that Havlicek recovered from that aero wash incident. We'll see if when he goes to make a move this time, we'll see if he chooses a different path in the turns before he tries to make that. Yeah, you see now he's down in that low line through the tri-oval there. He's staying in that same groove. Yeah, I don't understand. Well, unless he's just wanting to ride there, but I still would put clean air on my nose through the turn. So he's drafting up hard here, but we'll see if he's going to try to do it right here. It looks like he is. No, Chenoweth's going to not leave him much room. That's not enough room to get that pass completed there. Okay.
Just picking up the quarter panel, can't quite get there.
Yeah, no, you should slide back in just like he did and wait.
Nope, it's going to be the aggression. 81 takes the inside, 22 on the high. But 22 just powers around the outside. Chenoweth holds on to P2 for now.
That wasn't the right run. That wasn't the right run for him. He needs to just resettle and get that hard run again. I mean, Chenoweth did a fantastic job of getting down and leaving the groove below him, but not enough for him to really make the pass. You have to have a little more than a car width because you're going to wash up some, and he didn't really have that. So that was a great job by Chenoweth of putting his car in an exact spot to keep him kind of blocked. I really don't understand, though, why he's following him on the same groove through these turns, because you're not really drafting as much there.
Gap maybe a car length as they come into the corner. Close up a lot under braking, though. It's really going to upset the flow of the car. Does manage to get it turned down on the inside. Not going to pull alongside for now. Stuck behind. Davison trying to find any space to work in here. Chases up the track. Where do they enter? Get very close, nose to tail, basically bump drafting through turn 1. Able to keep it nose to tail.
This is going to be his chance right here. If he just stay behind him. Oh, he got a good run, and Chenoweth wiggled a little bit there, so stay behind him. They must have both wiggled because he's not really close. There he goes. There he goes. 81. And Chenoweth did not come down and block him. I think that's going to be pass done there.
Oh, but a small wobble
he
for the 81.
Slipped up.
Can't hold it together. Can't get the power down, and that's going to let the 22 get away again. This is hard racing.
Yeah, that was no, it's tough. I mean, the thing is, you got to sail it off in there down on that bottom, and you can't get that twitch. I mean, it's that's so tough right there. You can see they're both kind of sliding coming off the turn right there. Both of them were slipping up a little bit.
Speaking of slide, I think the 13 was that in the background. It was a little bit sideways on the exit there, but
5 went into 5, or it might have been 13. Yeah, probably went to 5.
Either way,
right.
Still.
So see, he's got a nice run here. I would have stayed back there a little bit longer, but
again, not able to find a way around, and again taking the same line.
Yeah, I don't understand, but
go on board. Just see how close they get into the corner entry. Offset slightly coming through the start finish. Michael looks low. Can't really get anything going there.
It would appear that he needs fresh air on his nose through the tri-oval part as well by the start-finish line, because he keeps opening it up there to get air on his nose. So he must be pushing in that tri-oval area if he doesn't have clean air on his nose, which is certainly possible through there.
Oh, 20 washes up slightly. Not quite alongside. Driver probably, Spotters probably says outside momentarily there, but looks very scary on the onboard.
Yeah, this is going to be, he's going to try to send it here, but I think it's all going to be about whether his car hooks or not. Looks like it hooked up there. He didn't wiggle there. That was the move.
But then we're not done because the crossover from Chenoweth is perfect.
Yeah, he slid up on the exit though and lost it right back. That's some good racing right there. These two are having a good battle. And I'll tell you what, we're clicking the laps off. We're only 17 laps to go in this race.
Talon Smith still your leader by 6 seconds and change. Chenoweth and Hudson battling for second place. Solo and Crisp round out your top 5 with Crosswhite and McGrawler. A little bit further field, McGrawler going 2 laps down due to taking repairs during the green flag stops. But we're not done yet, because now I think Hudson realises he can't stay in that lane. Has gone straight to the inside. Has actually got something going here.
Yeah, I think he does as well.
Sails in alongside. Not quite clear. Pulls a
This
little
is
bit
a better
in front.
run, though.
Slides up, almost takes the nose off
Same
the 22.
thing. Same thing. He loses it on exit every time there. It's just sliding up on him on exit.
Chenoweth looks to the inside.
Oh.
Slight tap.
Yeah, 22 slid up there a little bit. Mid corner.
Incident I'm seeing.
22 is twitching.
But I think
that's going to put the 81 out there.
Chenoweth has slipped for the last time, and that will let Michael Anderson take firm control of P2. I just want to stay on this just in case they get close again, because 22 has been very aggressive all race.
It's coming. He ain't giving that spot up that easy. If anything, he may give his tires a lap or two to cool down a little bit, maybe. But that would be it. He's going to definitely make another run at. I mean, I think that honestly, I think that the 22 is probably stronger here. Whoa! 81 driving it sideways off the turn there.
Smoke him if you've got him. 14
I'm
laps to go, and they're
telling
driving it like it's the white flag. Sheriff looks to the outside.
He's definitely driving that thing like he's definitely driving it like he stole it. Yeah, I tell you what, man, he starts sliding like that. It's not going to take much for Talon to get back by him. I mean, for Chenoweth to get back by him. Those tires get hot and slick, and Chenoweth will just turn it to the bottom and drive right by him.
Oof, I think.
He's wiggling all over the place.
Right rear into the wall briefly for the 81. Sparks fly from the car. As once again the 22 lies in the same groove. 81 tries to turn it a little earlier, but can't really escape right now.
His rear tires on that 81 they're hot and mad right now. I think Chenoweth could pass him at any point in time here. There you go.
Shoots the insides. Even on entry, slightly.
He's sliding up. 81 did a good job there. He didn't get scared. He stayed on his line and Chenoweth had to back out of it because he was going to slide up and hit him. Well, I tell you what, there's not a better example of slick track racing than this right here. This is exactly what it's all about. How it's done, how it's not done,
Side by side through the line with 11 laps to go. 22 sends it in deep. Can't quite get it clear though. 81 hanging on the outside line. Still keeping the pressure there.
Yeah, he's keeping the 22 just pinned down enough. You can see the 22's car is twitching because he's fighting that wheel, and he's having to let it drift out towards the 81, and he has to lift because he's going to slide up into him.
I am so nervous when they can get so sideways on the road that I'm worried if they do that when they're side by side, they're just going to end up in a pile. But it is very close, very tense
sometimes
racing.
Sometimes that kind of racing ends up like that, but they are. This is some good racing right here. Really good. If we got anybody out there watching in chat right now, let us tell us what you think's going on here. How you like this kind of racing?
McGrawler has had an incident. I want to watch it, but I also know this is the battle for second place, and it is still going and has been going for the last what feels like 20 laps now. I don't think it's going to calm down at any point.
No, I think this is going to go all the way to the end unless somebody makes a big mistake.
Christ White has been put a lap down. McGrawler's still 2 down. with Chenoweth, with Solo and Crisp, excuse me, far off of this battle and far away from each other. Unfortunately, this is your battle for P2 as Talon Smith has checked out from the field, as I think the 81 might have got in the wall again there briefly. The 22 is going to sail it in once again. They get into each other on the entry of the corner. The 81 shot up the track like a cannon. Keeps control of the car.
Yep, that was all it took. That's what he was waiting on. Good job by Chenoweth there, being patient. He drove it in there 3 or 4 or 5 times. It wasn't there. Backed out of it. Saved it for the next lap. Now here comes Halverson right back again.
Intense side-by-side racing. 81 squeezes tight, puts 22 in the wall.
Oh, he really washed the 22 up the track there. See, the 22 gave up. He didn't hold that position. You got to be willing to take the hit and to keep your guy pinched down. He's going to make another. Oh, not yet. Don't even see. Right now, he's got to calm down. His tires are hot, and he's wiggling all over the place. Just he got into him. I tell you what, fantastic job there by Michael Havleton to save that car.
He is properly sideways on exit.
Oh yeah, he is. All right, man. I tell you what, that's it seems like he might be too. Chenoweth didn't exactly take advantage of that, which is a gentlemanly thing to do. You get into him, you heat the guy's tires up like that. It's that's a tough call. Do you make that pass? Do you take advantage of that? He didn't, so that's the gentlemanly thing to do. Now he's going to make another run at him and see if he can get it done clean.
6 laps remain in this race. Lars Chenoweth once again to the inside has a huge run.
Oh, yeah, he's got him here.
I think Havleton's might be toast.
Havleton wiggled. Yeah, he wiggled hard coming off that turn. Unfortunately for him, I think that little bump and the slide that came with it has probably toasted his tires. Because these tires have now got 26, 27 laps on them. They're worn pretty good at this point.
Definitely not as good as they were 20 laps ago, certainly. But I don't think anyone's out of the fight yet. Lap traffic inbound. That's Trevor Crosswhite you see there on the bottom of your screen.
No, he's definitely not out of it. I just don't know if he's got the tires to make this work. If anything, if I'm him, I'm sitting back there. I'm going to let my tires cool as much as possible. I'm not going to slide it through the turns. And then I'm going to make one more hard run at him with, maybe with 2 to go or on the white flag lap. That way he doesn't have time to come back and get me. 24 got out of the way there. That was good call by Crosswhite. That's good racing there to get out of the way of these two.
Here's 4 to go. We'll have a quick look at Talon Smith, just because it's a very lonely road out here.
Sometimes you're so good that you don't get TV coverage. That's what happens.
And it will be Lucas away. Okay. I might be taking it back about the 81. That car looks like a handful to drive right now. Snapping loose on exit, struggling to keep the gap now.
Yeah, either it's real bad or he's just pushing it a little too hard still. But it looks like Lars is kind of pulling away, and his car seems to be much less ill handling. He's just a lot smoother coming in and out into the corner and off of it. Yeah, see, Havleton is even drifting up. Oh, yeah, see, he's in trouble. And every time he does that, his tires just get worse.
Matthew Crisp has had a moment from the incident reports, but seems to be yourself. I refuse to cut away from this because I know the second I do, something is going to go tragically wrong.
Of course it is.
2 to go.
Well, here he's fixing to mass send it here pretty soon. So there it is.
Chenoweth sees it coming,
This is
goes
big
all
shot.
the way
This
up
is
the
it.
track.
This is his big shot right here. He just don't have the grip. He just doesn't have the grip. He's washing up. Ew, he's washing up so bad. Oh, that was interesting that that Lars chose to go down on the apron there. I don't know that I would have done that.
This is the white flag lap. It is the last lap of the race. Talon Smith will be your leader, and I might try to get the cutaway to get the checkered flag take, but the race is going to be for second place as Chenoweth covers off the inside. Can't get alongside
This is gonna be it right here. Big send right here.
Talon Smith, congratulations on winning the race. I'm staying on this because they're storm break coming to the checkered flag. Oh, and the engine will get spun into the wall.
Oh man, he did wreck him. I said he wrecked him. He didn't. He wrecked himself. He wrecked himself there. Wow. Yeah. Well, you knew it was coming. So, I mean, he just sent it in there. He gave it everything he had. He washed right up into Lars's nose and spun himself.
Excuse me. My body is like so lost for words. It doesn't even want to speak right now. You felt like something like that was coming for the last 30 laps.
Oh yeah, you knew it was coming. Absolutely. Yeah, that was good stuff right there, though.
They did manage to build enough of the gap where even with that horrific wreck, Henderson does come across the line in P2. But you're winner of the race, and I hate to say that we didn't get to see the checkered flag. I'm sorry, Talon Smith. It was a fantastically driven race. It's just the problem is there's something more exciting going on at the same time.
And it was. No, that's fine. I mean, look, he was. You know, what are you going to do? Plus he's doing burnouts in victory lane, so you got that. I personally, I'd like to go back and see a replay of that if we could.
I am going to. That has to be.
You need to take a sip of that drink, or you done finished it off, and now you're in trouble.
No, I'll take a sip of the drink momentarily. Let's make sure I got the right thing set up for it. Let's go for an onboard view of this, I think.
He's going into the infield. There he goes. That's funny. 81 car just decided to go driving through the infield again.
Oh, it's the Alcantech post-race shenanigans. Hold on. While the burnout's happening, yes. Welcome to iRacing.
Oh, got one of them going backwards.
That
was a nice move by the 13 there.
Tokyo drift down the straight. And they've got bowling.
Oh, there they go. Yeah. They're going to kill some pit crew members too now.
All right, but
did you know that in every single track on iRacing, somewhere Dale Jr. is there watching the race?
I did not.
Yep, at every single track, Dale Jr. is located somewhere watching the race.
Well, this is a little bit too far forwards, I think. Let's go a little bit further back. No, this is Lars Chenoweth. So that's the wrong thing. I'm trying to find...
Well, actually, the incident has not occurred yet, right? No. If he was... Because Chenoweth's on board might not be the worst angle to see that at, because...
Here we go.
See,
so, yeah,
I don't think we're going to see much here, though, because he's going to be kind of by him and then drift up into him.
Can I switch this to... There we go. So this is the final lap.
Yeah.
As they come through.
I mean, you knew he was going to send it there. Checkers are wreckers, you know what they say.
He just slides up, gets alongside, and they get stuck together.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's, you know, I mean, that's clearly on Havildsen, but he knew what he was doing. He was trying to win the race. What he was hoping was that he could use Lars Chenoweth's 4 tires to stop his slide going up the track. It just didn't work out for him. But That was a fun run either way, though. That was good. That was a good battle, and he sent it and gave it all he had. It's league racing. That's okay. That's good stuff.
Results for you then. After 80 laps of what ended up being quite explosive action for second place, but our leader Talon Smith didn't see any of it. Talon Smith obviously winning the race. Shenoweth coming out ahead of Davison in those final moments, with Solo and Crisp too far back to take advantage. Trevor Crosswhite does finish one lap down after conceding position there at the end. Magrola, taking some damage repairs, ends up 3 laps down, and Anton Omen rounds out your fields, being involved in the first and only yellow flag of the race. Well,
yeah, that was good action right there. It might only been 8 cars in the field, but we certainly weren't lacking for action.
That's very true. We'll be back at the same time next week for a race that I definitely remember where the location is. We have Michael Henderson available for us, if you want to talk to him briefly.
Yeah, let's get him in here. This ought to be fun.
Do I have permission to drag people in? I do not.
Let me see. I'm sure I'm not going to, so I'm not even going to try. Yeah, I don't think. But let me go see. I don't think I do.
Really unfortunate.
No, I do not either.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, in the interest of not breaking
Michael, we wanted to talk to you. We just unfortunately, neither one of us had that permission. That was probably something that was an oversight. But good run to you, sir. That was fun. That was very entertaining watching that the last 30 laps or so. There y'all going at 25 laps. Y'all going at each other. That was good fun. And good racing. Good clean racing. I mean, they weren't bumping and banging each other till the very last lap there, which is fine. That was good stuff.
We'll be back at the same time next week for Dover in these cars, which is going to be very amusing.
Yeah, Dover's fun, man. I love Dover.
Oh, I love me some Dover. But until next time...
Those big bumps coming out of the turns are great.
Joined by Jim Cunningham, I've been Alice Davison. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you all next time.